This video segment is about serving as a member of COPRA, and it applies to individuals who want to serve on COPRA, but also for programs going through the accreditation process who would like to understand more about the roles and responsibilities of COPRA members as individuals and the body as a whole. As with all the video segments, you can pause at any time to look more closely at the videos, and you're encouraged to download the slides with the accompanying notes. This is not intended to be a substitute for attending the Accreditation Institute. Members of COPRA must understand the standards very, very well, and so attending the Accreditation Institute is extremely important. The task of COPRA, in terms of individual members and the body as a whole, is to assess compliance with NASPAA's standards in the three areas that make up the accreditation triangle. That is, assessing compliance with NASPAA standards as they relate to mission, process, and outcomes. The ultimate objective of accreditation and the role of COPRA is to improve public service by improving public service education. So what are the qualifications for serving as a member of COPRA? Well, you have to be an experienced practitioner or an experienced faculty member who has interest in promoting excellence in public service through education. You should have completed the Accreditation Institute at least once. Ideally, you've served on multiple site visits, and if you're a faculty member, you've even chaired one or more site visit teams. An essential requirement is that you're willing to commit the time and energy required to do the work of COPRA, because it is very time-consuming. And because of that, you should have the support of your employer or your program for your participation in COPRA. Now, the activities of COPRA span throughout the year and address many different component parts of the accreditation process. They include responding to recommendations from the Eligibility Committee and making decisions about eligibility, reviewing self-study reports and crafting interim reports which identify concerns and communicate with the program, communicating with the program director and the site visit team chair during the site visit process, reviewing site visit materials and additional information from the program, and ultimately making decisions on accreditation. They also include annual report reviews and monitoring of programs that have been identified as having ongoing concerns. We're going to focus in on just three of those particular responsibilities of an individual member of COPRA: in contributing to drafting the interim report, serving as a liaison, and contributing to the ultimate decisions that are made by COPRA. So, the interim report is what COPRA generates based on the self-study report as a way of communicating with the program what concerns they have about compliance with the standards. Your role as an individual member of COPRA is that you'll be assigned a small number of programs to take the lead and reviewing their self-study report and generating ideas and concerns for the interim report. Your role is also to capture consensus about those concerns and clearly link every concern to a specific standard. You should write these concerns from the perspective of someone who might be receiving them and had to respond. They should be constructive, they should be clear. You should think of the interim report as feedback to the program and as a guide to the site visit team. And if other members of COPRA or the program respond critically to some pieces of the interim report that you have helped draft, don't be defensive. Think of this as a constructive feedback process. Now, after a program responds to an interim report and decides to go on to a site visit, actually even in the process of responding to an interim report, they have a liaison within COPRA. And you, as a member of COPRA, would serve as a liaison to certain programs, those same programs where you took the lead in crafting the interim report. Your role as a liaison is to communicate between the two institutions, COPRA and the program, to try and understand and convey the perspectives of both. So you're helping the program understand the rationale behind COPRA's concerns identified in the interim report. You're also communicating with the site visit chair so that they understand what information do they have to collect during the site visit so that COPRA will be able to make an informed decision. Finally, you have a role in the process of making accreditation decisions. COPRA, as a body, and every individual member of COPRA, is in some respects a gatekeeper. But your job is not to keep the gates closed to anyone who wants to enter. Your job is to help programs demonstrate that they have met the qualifications for opening that gate. You need to balance the requirement of following precedent and advancing the profession. You need to promote consistency across programs when applying the standards within a given year. You need to base all decisions on evidence. And in addition to making a decision within COPRA, you have a responsibility to help identify best practices, examples that can inform the field as a whole and other programs within the field. Ideally, the process within COPRA is collegial and constructive in how you interact with each other, how you interact with programs, how you interact with the site visit team. And one of the advantages of serving on COPRA is that you actually learn a tremendous amount about our field. From reviewing the individual program self-study reports, from interacting with your colleagues on COPRA and in these programs and with the site visitors. There are additional resources that you can consult, and if you have questions regarding service on COPRA, you can submit those using the web address provided on this slide. The responsibility of COPRA is not simply to make accreditation decisions, it is to advance the quality of public service and public service education.